Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review RoboCop. Oh wait, no I'm not. Bloodshot. I couldn't resist. So Bloodshot is a new graphic novel adaptation, and in the time where we get a lot of comic book and graphic novel adaptations, and some of them are becoming very ambitious and looking at things from a different way, we get your standard, fair origin story starring a piece of wood, Vin Diesel. Not trying to be mean, but this film had so much more potential, and so much of it is lost upon Vin Diesel not really being able to carry this film when they have emotional moments, or you're supposed to be charismatic at all. He just feels like a machine doing his Vin Diesel thing. I'm surprised he didn't say it's all about family. But and this film has so many, and if you couldn't tell from my joke to start this video, it borrows so much from so many different things. It does really feel like a RoboCop situation where it's like this slain soldier is turned into this weapon who's being controlled by an evil corporation. RoboCop. But obviously it's a little different, and it's ambitious and has some cool ideas with this like nanotech and all these people with like mechanical limbs and these mech suit kinds of things, and they could have been really inspired action sequences. They had cool plans for the action sequences, but a lot of the execution in this film just didn't work. And Dave Wilson, who directed this, is able to keep a pretty self-aware, silly kind of tone to it. There's not times where you're like feeling like this is taking it super seriously. It's like, no, it knows this is absurd and kind of leans into it. And I wish it leaned further into it. And I wish that it had somebody who could lean into it and make those self-aware jokes. It's like, would have been which it's funny, speaking of wooden performances, it's like somebody who could transcend that looking like a robot is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because Arnold has some of the best one-liners in the history of action movies, and this honestly feels like this film should have come out in the 80s or the 90s, and it was written that way, it just feels that way, it has that obnoxious comic relief, and was not funny. Calling it comic relief is giving it a lot of credit, and it could have had somebody who could have delivered some like snappy dialogue at points and be like, ha ha! Yep, we're having fun. This is a silly movie. But no, it's Vin Diesel trying to give these like intense lines, and it's just like, no, I didn't feel any of that. And realistically, the only performances that really stuck out are Isa Gonzalez and Guy Pearce, who's a great actor. But even it's like, they didn't have a whole lot to do. And Jeff Wadlow and the other screenwriters on this, it's like they didn't give a whole lot of people a lot to work with in this film, and it's trying to meld all these different kinds of things. And not gonna lie, it's hard to write stories now because like you've seen so many things. It's hard to be unique and surprise people. But this film didn't really try to surprise anybody with like twists that really weren't twists, and where this film could have been cool with at least its action sequences that felt inspired. The editing is atrocious and ruined just regular scenes, let alone the action sequences, and some of the CGI. Like, there's this really cool climactic elevator fight scene that could have been so great, except it's just a bunch of rubber band people bouncing each other around because the CGI is atrocious at times. This is just a hot mess of a movie. And people will watch this will get a cult following, but in the end, it felt like a wasted opportunity, and I wish that they had somebody else leading this film in that leading performance, because at least if it was like a fun performance, you could have got past some of these things, but you're stuck taking in this film without that anchor, and it sinks. Just floats off and just... But those are my thoughts on Bloodshot. Would not really recommend this film. But let me know what you think. If you have other thoughts, maybe you really enjoyed this and found more fun in it than I did. Found just a slight bit of fun in this film. But comment below and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for stopping by and supporting your Wasteland reviewer, and go check out my written review for this as well. That's coming to SIF Pop as well. But thank you, and keep on coming back and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.